Hello and welcome back to Lagoon of all games. There's something I forgot to take care of in the previous video that's absolutely necessary for what I plan to do next. Let's see, he's not there, so he should be randomly appearing. This is the only use of the Moonstone in this version of the game. So now I'll skip us all the way back to the porno cave and put us where we should be. There we go. Now this different looking chunk of lava is where we're going to use the freezing pot. One of the game's most crucial NPCs, no walk cycle. The secret place from which the Lagoon's fan site gets its name. Oh dear. Oh, those are crazy eyes. Well, these are smarter villains in that they're only trying to revive some generic evil spirit. It's not like they're trying to revive Zolganark or anything, though that would make this game hilariously brutal. So now, a boss who is not a total pain. This is because Erdon has some AI quirks. Because if you know where to stand, it'll just try to vibrate through the wall. It won't try to run you over or anything. And it'll just shoot at you. You don't have to jump to hit it, but its projectiles are pretty big. Other than that, it's just rinse, repeat, vibrations, stab it in the eyeballs. We have killed another elephant. I was so tempted to sing the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins here, but decided that, this is already Lagoon. I had no need to add something like that. Wonderfully muddy water, by the way. By the way, those, pickaxe-tossing orc dudes, they have basically infinite range, so if they want to hit you from across the whole map, they will. Like, they'll throw right through the mountainsides or whatever. These worms, no big deal. The Hobbit Town of Popper, or Why Hobbits Know to Never Leave the Shire. You leave the Shire, you get full of plague. I can't help you, ma'am. Oh. Okay, now we need to get this guy some mint. Now, this little side quest did not actually exist in the original Sharp version of this game. So you might ask, well then, how does Nasir cure the plague that's destroying the Hobbit town? The answer is, you don't. Now, there's something here that's rather unique to Lagoon. Oh, hello there. Yes, the only house you can enter. You can't read the books. Nasir only has eyes for one book in this game. Well, that's pretty much everything we can do here. No armor to buy, no one else of import we can talk to. It's on to Siegfried Castle for us, which contains the entirety of our next tier of gear. And here it is, it's just off to the west of Hobbit Town. It's a good thing that I saved there, because this is the one time in all of my playthroughs of this game that Siegfried Castle has decided to be a dick to me. The enemies here aren't normally too bad, but there are just a lot of them in certain places that can really ruin your day. Even fighting defensively won't really help you that much. The knights are immune to magic, just like the ones in Philip's castle. And I don't have any other crystals I can try on them. I have no idea what this does. I'm going to have to go look that up sometime. I've never really had a need for it either, so no problems there. Oh dear. And that knight just seemed to crawl right out of the wall. Yes, wind magic is useful against those exercise balls, because they move very quickly and rather unpredictably. There's no telling what can happen. A fighting champion I am not. There are actually 2 rings in this castle. We're going to be using this sword for a while. We got to use the silver sword against no bosses, the magic sword against 1 boss, but we're going to have to stick with the force sword for the next 3 bosses. Oh yes, something I forgot to mention. I may have said earlier that Ella was not in the Sharp version of the game. So who would kidnap Felicia? No, Felicia is kidnapped by Thor, and the Dwarf Cave is actually the first time you encounter him in the Sharp version. You see, in the Sharp version, Thor is never your friend. His role is much more antagonistic in the Sharp version. By the way, that's where I pay for hubris. So I'm going to have to redo some things. Conga lines of magic immune knights really belong in games that have better controls and hit detection, you know, like Dark Souls or something. And it appears that my woes were caused by something of an oversight. You see, I gained a level after beating Erdon, which means that my defense ring turned off. I think you all know how that can be problematic in a dungeon like this. By the way, those swinging swords don't hurt you, they're cosmetic. That door there leads to Duma, the boss of Siegfried Castle. But we can't quite get to him yet. There are some other things we need to do first. Wow, getting hit actually saved me. You won't hear that often. I really should have taken the time to do a bit of grinding before trying to tackle this castle. I would say that I'm getting what I deserved about now or so. Still, Siegfried Castle is somewhat better designed than Philip's Castle. They didn't need to change much, so this place isn't nearly as sprawling. That doesn't mean I won't get lost, however. Oh no. There will be plenty of navigational malpractice to come. Now, will I remember where to go next? Probably not. Lagoon tends to inspire certain degrees of navigational impairment. This game will turn anyone into An. And the sad part is that I think that may actually be by design, because if you're spending a lot of time wandering around, you're probably hacking through monsters too. So the game kind of relies on you to get lost in order to have the experience and levels necessary to tackle the bosses at the end of each dungeon. I guess this is just further proof that just because a design decision is unique doesn't mean that it's good. Okay, that's the door I was looking for. And I gained another level, which means I'm more vulnerable. Okay, now the basement is absolutely filled with goodies, and I'm gonna try to grab all of them. Though Siegfried Castle will work its best voodoo to test my patience. Those Masters of the Four Sword style do not take much damage from magic, so there's no real point in fighting them for me. Unless I really want to get killed. I think I had enough deaths in the last video. Yeah, see the problem? Now, I thought this room had something, but I was wrong. A rather unfortunate mistake, but one that is very common. This will help a lot, though. The Dungeon of Siegfried Castle is where we can actually find the mint. You can't actually go to the higher floors of the castle yet. Not that there's much there that you have to pick up or anything. Enemy mind games. Yeah, the mint is right here if you want it. Ah! I swear, I was surprised that I didn't get another death in this video from how I was playing. I usually don't have a huge amount of trouble with Siegfried Castle. I don't know what changed. Maybe I was cocky, so hubris would kill me again. Wouldn't be the first time that happened in an action RPG. And the Maxim Shield, our last piece of Tier 4 gear. There's only one tier of gear left to go, but we won't be getting that for a while yet. So this is where things got a little bit problematic. Backed into a corner, ton of enemies. Spewing magic, and it's about this time that I realized, you know what, I've had enough of Siegfried Castle. We'll be finishing up this dungeon next time when I get around to it. See you then, when I conquer another castle in Lagoon.